Hello everybody, it's your pal Jonah, back at it once again with another video, or I guess recording. So a few things. One, obviously there's no face cam for this. The reason for that is I just got back from college and I haven't finished unpacking yet, so my room is completely overrun with like boxes and random stuff that I have no idea where to put it. And the reason I didn't just wait until I was done packing is because I wanted to get this video out before this trend died. I'm always late to the trend, but I'm like, hey, I can kind of get on this one while it's still somewhat relevant. So if you can tell from the title or what you're seeing on the screen with all this weebness over here, we are doing a tier ranking video. Is that what they're called? I don't really know what to call this. Basically, over on this side, I have every single anime I've ever watched, and I'm gonna go through all of them and rank them from SS down to Z, SS being god tier, Z being like absolute garbage. I say we go ahead and get started, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick this. What's this? Okay, so orange. So I just watched this recently. Here's the thing, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to do this somewhat objectively and like give my honest opinions on it and not just be like, oh, I love this SS tier. I'm gonna try to actually think about where it should go. For now, without any context, I'm gonna put this on A because I really enjoyed it and it's really good. I might move it later, but we'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab this. This is My Hero Academia Season 2. And the reason I have all the seasons separated is because I think each season is a different tier, which I know is kind of confusing, but My Hero is the only show that I insisted that I do every season separate. This and Blue Exorcist Kyoto Saga, just because I think there's a massive jump in quality between the first, second, and third seasons. So the second season, I'm gonna put also on the A tier, and it's gonna frustrate me that that's so short, so I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Let's do Cowboy Bebop. So this one's hard because I feel like a lot of people will get mad if I don't put it in S, but no, I'm gonna put it in S because it's better, I think, than Orange and My Hero Academia Season 2. I guess we'll just go ahead and finish off My Hero Academia. Here's Season 1. I'm gonna put this in B. Let's all be honest, Season 1 of My Hero Academia really isn't that good. And I think most people would agree with me. It's kind of super boring. And all it is Midoriya crying for 13 episodes. It's not really that interesting. And then we have Season 2, which I would say is an A rank, purely because of the tournament arc at the beginning, which was phenomenal. And then Season 3 is going in S rank because Season 3 was absolutely perfect. And that's aside from the whole Kiribaku stuff that was happening. Next, okay, so here we have Gamers, which not a lot of people have seen. It's basically about this kid who's obsessed with those mobile click games, and he joins a gaming club, and then he ends up falling in love with this girl. But the girl he's in love with thinks that he's in love with a different girl, and that girl's in love with a guy, but thinks that that guy is in love with a different girl. And it's this whole complicated thing that would have just been solved if they would have just talked to each other and talked about it, because two of the people were siblings. And like, yeah, whatever. It was funny. I enjoyed it, but it's not great. It's like C is the rank where I enjoyed it, but it's not great. Gurren Lagann. I don't even need to think about this one. This one is a SS right off the bat. There are probably a few people out there who disagree with that, but I personally think Gurren Lagann is one of the best shows ever made. So I'm gonna put it on S, and I'm a SS, and I'm gonna keep it there, and you can get mad at me. Hunter x Hunter. Let's go ahead and do another controversial one. I'm actually gonna put this in S. I feel like a lot of people would put that in SS because Hunter x Hunter is one of those legendary shows. But, so here's my thing with Hunter x Hunter. The first arc is not that interesting. It's honestly kind of super boring. Then the second arc with the whole Assassin's family is great. And then the Tower arc is like not that great. And then York New City is great. And then Greed Island is phenomenal. And then we get to the Chimera Ant arc, which by itself moves this from SS down to S. Don't get me wrong, the Chimera Ant arc, the second half is incredible, but it's the most slowest. The first half is one of the most slowest and boring story arcs I think I've ever seen in an anime. The Chimera Ant arc is literally the best and the worst arc in anime of all time. And just because of that first half of the Chimera Ant arc and also the slow start, I'm gonna have to move it from SS down to S, and if you're upset with that, you can yell at me in the comments. I don't care. Let's go with a newer show next, Run with the Wind. I enjoyed this. It's made by the same people who make Haikyuu, I believe. I'm not certain, but I believe it's made by the people who like Haikyuu. It's about a college track team. It's like more slice of life than it is sports anime, which is why I think I didn't enjoy it a ton. Like, it was really well done, which is why I have it in an A, not a B, but it wasn't quite like, oh my gosh, it was great, which is what is S. Actually, now that I talk about it, I might move this down to B, and I think I'm gonna keep it there. I don't think anybody else has watched it, so nobody get mad. Let's go straight into a guilty pleasure with Free Iwatobi Swim Club. Those of you who watch my channel know I love this show. This show is great. Okay, no, this show is complete garbage. Actually, wait, is this the second season? Yeah, that's the second season. This is the first season. I'm gonna put this at a C because as much as I love and adore everything about this show, it's not good. No matter how hard I try, I can never defend the fact that I love this show because it's terrible. So I'm gonna put it at a C. Let's move on to the second season. Where did I put it? I just had it. Right here it is. It was literally right in the middle. This is gonna be a B. I think the second season was significantly better than the first season. And I think most people who've watched the show will agree with that. And then the third season, I'm also gonna give a C as well because, oh my gosh, melodrama. It literally, okay. I don't mean to get on a tangent about Free Iwatobi Swim Club, but I've got to say, the third season, so much happened where it's just like, who wrote this? Like, what? There's like this whole scene where Makoto's like, I want him to be friends with us. And this other guy's like, I don't want him to be friends with you. Makoto's like, you can't decide that. And the other guy's like, watch me. And Makoto's like, I'll race you for him. And they have a swim race for this, to be friends with this guy who's not even there. And I'm like, shouldn't he kind of have a say in this? But no, he doesn't. And pretty much with season 3, without going into detail, they knew what their fans wanted and they gave it to them. And whether or not that's a good thing is up to you to decide. So I'm gonna put that at a C. I'm just gonna go top to bottom now, I think, instead of just going everywhere. So I'm gonna start with Attack on Titan. This is gonna be controversial, but Attack on Titan, as popular as it is not that good. Score, awesome. Action, great. Beautiful to look at. Story though, characters though, there's not that much there to be super excited about. I don't know. It's like, it's okay and I would recommend it, but it's not great. I don't think it's as good as season 2 of My Hero Academia and Orange. Next up, Steins Gate is an S. Steins Gate is one of the best shows out there. If you haven't seen Steins Gate, I recommend watching it. It is incredibly well done. It kind of has a slow start, which is why it's not quite double S material, but it's definitely worth watching. Honestly, I think this is one of the ones where a lot of people probably wouldn't disagree with that. Moving on to something very different, No Game, No Life. This one's hard because I haven't seen it in a while, and I remember loving it when I watched it, but like looking back on it, it was very fan servicey and not great. So I don't know with this one. I'm gonna judge it based on the other shows in B rank and say it's a B because I'd put it on the same level as Attack on Titan, I think. I just realized that I have Free Eternal Summer on the same level as My Hero Season 1, Attack on Titan, and No Game, No Life. But the thing is, I don't think Free Eternal Summer is as good as these 4 shows, but it's definitely better than the first and third season, but I don't think the first and third season are a D. I'll probably rearrange this once I'm all done with it, but for now I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna put No Game, No Life in B and keep everything how it is for now. Next, I think is Blue Exorcist, which I'm gonna put at an A. I think that might be a little controversial. I'm a little biased. Blue Exorcist, I've said this multiple times, is my favorite anime of all time. And even though it's my favorite anime, I would definitely not say it's as good as, it's definitely not an S rank show. It is not nearly as good as these 4 shows. But I would definitely, I think, put it on the same level as season 2 of My Hero and Orange. Next is Death Note, which this is gonna make a lot of people angry, but I'm putting this at a B. If we're talking about the first 30 episodes, it would be an A, maybe even an S. At the most, it'd be right in the middle. But because of that one thing that happens around episode 35, I believe, it just goes so downhill from there. And I can't bring myself to put it at an A. As angry as it's gonna make a lot of people, I'm putting it at a B. And if you love Death Note, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Next, Mob Psycho is double S, 100%. I don't even need to think. Mob Psycho 100 is the most 10 out of 10 show I think I've ever seen. It's perfect. It's a perfect show. Like, I honestly can't think of any other way to describe it than it's a perfect show. I love every single thing about it. The animation, the characters, the story, the action, the comedy. It's so perfect and I love it. A lot of you may disagree with me. I don't know. I haven't done like a straw poll on fans of Mob Psycho 100, but I cannot bring myself to put it any lower than an SS. It is a god tier anime and I will die on that hill. Moving on to something completely different. Arrow Manga Sensei. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna like put it. I'm just gonna come down here and put it. I'm gonna put it here and ignore that it ever existed and pretend I never watched it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do you one better. Cool. Now all is right with the world. Next, Grand Blue. This was a show I had no idea what to expect going into it, but I am very happy that I watched it because this show is a trip. Think of it as a Seth Rogen movie, but an anime. It's phenomenal. Supposedly it's about diving, but like they don't go diving till episode 5. Like the first 5 episodes are just about them getting drunk and getting into shenanigans because they're drunk, and it's incredible. And I'm gonna put this, I might actually put this at an A because it's not good, but it's so enjoyable and it's so funny that like that makes up for its lack of inspiration. Moving on to this one, Nagi no Asakura, or a lull in the sea. This was the sleeper hit of the century for me. I had pretty much no expectations with it. I heard some people say it was good. I love the character designs, but I did not expect this to be nearly as good as it was. And I struggle with this one because as much as I want to put it in God tier, I'm not willing to like, for me, the shows in God tier are the shows that I will die defending. And I don't think I'd be willing to die defending Nagi no Asakura. So I'm gonna put it at S because it's still excellent and it's still an incredible show. And if you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend doing that. Moving on next to Psycho Pass. Only the first season. I'm gonna pretend the second season does not exist and only go by the first season. And the first season is a solid A. It's not quite an S, but it's a solid A, and I'm okay with that. And I might go around to change it because I definitely think Psycho Pass, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. Like going into this, I'm like, I had an idea of where I would put things, but like now actually looking at it, I think Psycho Pass is better than all of the shows I currently have in A rank, but I don't think it's as good as most of the shows I have in S. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this in the undecided, and I'm gonna leave it there until I figure out what I actually want to do with it. Next, Haikyuu. Great show. Solid sports anime. This one I don't have to think too much about. It's an A. Next, A Silent Voice. This one is so difficult because this movie is so incredibly well done and so good. I feel like it should be a double S. And actually, I think it's a double S. I think we're going with our third double S, guys. Kisniver. Literally nobody's seen this, so I could put this literally anywhere on this scale and I don't think anybody would get upset because nobody's seen it, but I'm gonna put it at an A because as interesting as the concept is and as much as I love the show, narratively it leaves a few things to be desired. And yeah, I'm gonna keep Kisniver at A, and if the one person who's watching this who has seen it, if you disagree with that, that's fine. Next, Hakata Tokatsu Ramens, another show nobody's seen. I'm gonna put it at a B because it's enjoyable and I think it's good. I'm gonna put it at a C because while it's enjoyable and it's good, here's the thing, it's forgettable. It is a very forgettable show, and because of that, I'm gonna move it from a B to a C, and I think I'm gonna leave it at a C. I definitely think it's the best of the C's, but I don't think it's a B, and I'm still struggling with the fact that Free Eternal Summer is in B, but screw it, this is my list, I can do what I want, I'm gonna keep it there. Banana Fish, another surprise. This one is a solid A. It's a very, very, very good show. And again, it's one that hardly anybody's watched. And I think it's because it deals with some very dark subject matter, like super dark. Most people, that kind of scares them away from watching it. But I definitely think if you can handle some of the darker subject matter, it's definitely worth watching. It's a very good show. Next, Durarara X2. Technically season 2, but then also seasons 2 through 4. It's a weird thing. I'm gonna put this at a B. Season 2 of Durarara, and we're about to get to season 1, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But season 2 of Durarara is one of the most inconsistent shows. The first part of season 2, which I believe is Show is what it's called, is great. I loved that. Ended with a super good cliffhanger. Set up season 3/2.5 very well. It was a really solid sub-season, and it built up so much potential for X210, and then X210 completely was not good. I had a lot of problems with X210. And then you get Ketsu, which the first half is just immensely frustrating to watch. But then the second half was very decent. Because the whole thing with Durarara is there's like 7 different subplots that are all happening at the same time in the same area of Tokyo. And that's basically the premise. It tied up all 7 of the plot threads surprisingly satisfyingly. It had a very satisfying ending and it tied up all the loose ends. Durarara and Hakata Tokatsu Ramens are actually very similar. And then going to season 1 has very few flaws in it. It's definitely a solid A. It's definitely much better than X2. It's a lot more streamlined. It's a lot less frustrating. The characters are great. It's interesting. It's mysterious. It's a very good show, and I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't watched it. So now we get to our first embarrassing one. There are several embarrassing ones on here, and this is the first one. Sekaiichi Hatsukoi. This is one of the shows where I'm not gonna, I don't want to talk about it. I'm actually gonna put it at a D. And I know there's some very devout fans of this show out there who will be mad at me for putting it at a D, but I'm gonna put it at a D. Next is semi-embarrassing Hetalia, but like everybody's watched this. It's a C. Because it's funny and it's entertaining, but it's not good. As popular as it is, it's not good. Next, Erased, which is an S, 100%. There's some minor narrative problems that I had with it, but that, yeah, whatever. It was predictable. That was the problem. Its predictability is keeping it from being an SS. It's only 13 episodes. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. It tells a single story, and it tells that single story very, very well. 5 centimeters per second. Holy Lord, is this movie depressing? Oh my gosh, it's just depressing. It's literally an hour of people not getting the only thing they've ever wanted in life and being depressed about it. Makoto Shinkai is my favorite director of anime movies. For that alone, I'm gonna put it at an A. And it's also really good, but it's too depressing to be an S. As much as I love sad things because I'm a sad boy, it's too depressing to be an S. Devil is a part-timer. Funny show, not that good, objectively. Actually, no, it's not as good as Durarara or Death Note, so I'm gonna leave that there. Full Metal Alchemist. So here is another one of Jonah's controversial anime opinions. I actually think the original Full Metal Alchemist is better than Brotherhood. After seeing both and really thinking about it, I'm gonna put Full Metal Alchemist, the original. Or no, this is so tough for me. Both so incredibly good, and literally everybody agrees that it's probably one of the best, if not the best anime ever made, at least with Brotherhood. I love them both so much. They're both so equally good that I have to put them both at double S. So I'm just gonna keep them at double S, and that's so tough for me. I think I'm gonna leave them at double S for now, and maybe I'll come back to it. But for now, I think they're both gonna remain at God tier. Next, Spirited Away. Everybody's seen this. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. It's an A. I think most people would agree with that. It's an A. Ouran High School Host Club. Another one everybody's seen. This one's an A.
Hey guys, this is Editing Jonah. So in running with my general theme of being an expert at hindsight, I realized while editing this, I said both Spirited Away and Ouran High School Host Club were A's, but I put them at S rank. So why don't we all just ignore that happened and go on with our lives? Thank you.
I could rewatch it over and over again and never get sick of it because it doesn't involve a lot of thinking. It doesn't shy away from what it is. It embraces the cringe. It embraces the weirdness. It's a solid show, but it's also super rewatchable, which makes it an S for me. And it's time for another controversial opinion. One Punch Man, beloved by anime fans everywhere. Literally everybody loves this show, except for me. I'm not a big fan of One Punch Man. I honestly kind of hate myself for saying that. Like, I get mad at myself for not liking it because it's one of those shows where there's no reason I shouldn't like it. I just don't. Personally, I would put it at a B, but I will get murdered if I put it anywhere lower than an A. So I'm gonna put it at an A to save my own hide. I mean, that's all I can say. I'm really sorry I don't like One Punch Man. I just don't. I wish I liked it. I really do want to like it. I just don't, and I'm really sorry that I don't. Both of my best friends are diehard One Punch Man fans. They'll probably kill me and maybe not talk to me. Mason, Emma, I'm really sorry. Next, we go to our second embarrassing one. Hitorijime My Hero. Again, this is one of those guilty pleasure ones that I'm not going to spend a lot of time on. I'm just going to put it at C. I'm gonna put it at B, and I'm gonna leave it there, and feel free to take that as you will. Noragami, solid show, solid A. I don't think anybody's gonna disagree with that. It's just a delight to watch. Next, Made in Abyss, another sleeper hit. I'm tempted to put this at double S. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put it at an S. I'm more sure that it's an S than I am that it's a double S. Yuri on Ice, one of the most universally yeah, it's a good show. Not a ton of people are diehard fans of it. I'm a diehard fan. You guys all know how much I love Yuri on Ice, but it's an A at the most. And I think most people agree with that. I mean, most people who watch Yuri on Ice are like, yeah, it's a good show. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? It has been a very long time. This was one of the first anime I ever watched. I think I watched it during my first year, back when I was 15 or 16. So I don't remember much about it. I remember enjoying it, but I also remember it not being that good. So for shows that I enjoyed that aren't that good, I have on C, and I'm gonna put that in C. Next, Anohana is an S, and you can fight me. I freaking love Anohana. I cried for so long after it ended, which may be oversharing, but you know what? I don't care. It's a fact. I cried so hard when it ended. It was so sad, and I loved it. Next, here's the thing. Season 2 Blue Exorcist. I separated them because I'd give them a different grade numerically, but I'm giving them the same tier rank, so I'm gonna keep it at A. Kyoto Saga is super good, and I definitely recommend watching it. Like I said, I think it's better than season 1. And okay, so this is gonna be kind of a tangent, but it is relatable. One of my favorite things in anime is what I call friendship episodes. Those are the episodes where the main plot doesn't advance, it just focuses on the friendships of the characters, and instead of progressing the plot, it progresses the characters and their relationships with each other. For some reason, I just love those episodes. That's why season 3 of My Hero Academia is my favorite season, because oh my gosh, so many friendship episodes. And Blue Exorcist Kyoto Saga had some great friendship episodes that I loved. So that's why I like it better, but a friendship episode does not warrant an S rank. Next, Iron Blooded Orphans. This show is phenomenal. Again, I'm tempted to put it at double S. Even if you're not a huge Gundam person, I recommend checking it out. It's super well done, super well written. The characters are so well developed and so deep and have so much depth to them. Just watch it. It's great. You'd love it. And it's time for another controversial anime opinion. I am not a big fan of Castle in the Sky. It's a lot of people's favorite Ghibli movie. I'm just not a huge fan of it. Mark Hamill's great. The story is good. It's Ghibli, so it's phenomenal, of course. It just doesn't do it for me. I'm gonna have to put it at a B, guys. As much as I want to put it at an A, this is how I feel. But you know what's not a B? Your Name. Your Name is my favorite anime movie of all time. It's actually my 4th favorite movie period, anime or otherwise. I've seen it almost 10 times, I want to say, and I have cried every single time I've watched it at the same point. The music is phenomenal. It's Makoto Shinkai, so the animation is gorgeous to look at. Like, literally every frame could be in the Louvre. It's so beautiful. The story is so original. I don't know how to describe what emotion it evokes in me. Like, the best way I can describe it is it makes me long for something, but I don't know what it is, if that makes sense. That doesn't even make sense to me, but that's how I feel. This video is just how I feel, and that's how I feel. And speaking of how I feel, Sword Art Online is a Z. I hate Sword Art Online. I mean, I would put it at an F. I'm gonna put it at an F, actually. If we're being honest, the first story arc isn't terrible, but everything after that is just a mistake. It's one of the worst written shows I think I've ever watched. One of the most lazy and pointless shows, but it's so popular. And I think that makes me hate it even more, the fact that it's so popular. Yeah, Angel Beats. So Angel Beats made me cry, but that's just because the ending was super shocking and emotional. Everything aside from the ending was super average. So I'm gonna put it at an A. If I'm being honest, I should put it at a B, but because it elicited such a severe and long-lasting emotion within me, I can't put it at a B, so I'm just gonna put it at an A. My Neighbor Totoro. It's nostalgic. I'm putting it at an A purely for the nostalgia factor. Everybody's seen My Neighbor Totoro. Everybody loves My Neighbor Totoro. It's not great. It's not terrible, so I'm gonna put it at an A. But now, like, I'm looking at it, and do I really want to put My Neighbor Totoro over Castle in the Sky? At the very least, I think they're equal. Moving on before I get shot by somebody. Darker Than Black had such an interesting premise and had so much promise, but it was the most anticlimactic and disappointing show I've ever seen. And because of that, I have to put it at a D. Potential wise, it's an S. It really is. It has so much potential. It's a D for wasted potential. Kiss Him Not Me. It's not good. Another embarrassing show that I don't really want to admit that I watched, but I did. I did watch it. I'm not really sure why I watched it, but I did. It's not good, so it's an F. And then last but not least, aside from like Psychopaths, because I still haven't made up my mind, we have Code Geass, which I have to put it at an S. I can't put it at anything else. And with that, looking at it, I think I'm gonna put Psychopaths at an S. Now that I've had like a chance to think about it, I'm okay with that. So looking at this, I think something you can tell is I'm very generous towards anime. A lot of the ones that are A's should probably be B's. A lot of the ones that are B's should probably be C's, and so on and so on. I'm a very simple guy. I judge anime on whether or not it makes me feel good or it makes me feel things. Even the bad shows, I still kind of enjoy because they're trash, you know? Anime is trash, and so am I. So I enjoy everything. So this is like hard for me to think. So now I'm gonna go through it. Now that I've got it all laid out, I'm gonna think through if there's anything I want to change. Right off the bat, the thing I want to change, I think, is I think I need to move this here. I'm just gonna leave them all the same. Other thing I want to move. I'm so tempted to just do it and have no regrets. So I am. I'm gonna do it. I want to do it, and I'm doing it. Bam. Moving up tier, is there anything I want to change in C? I think I'm satisfied with all these being a C. Next to B, I honestly think I'm okay with this. With the A, I think I'm gonna move Grand Blue down to a B. It's definitely not better than Castle in the Sky and My Neighbor Totoro. So yeah, I think I'm satisfied with everything at A right now. S rank, is there anything I want to move up or down? I think I'm gonna move Code Geass down to A. Again, Code Geass I think was like the 5th anime I ever watched. I watched it very early on, so I don't remember it that much. I remember thinking Code Geass was great, and I think it is great, but I don't remember any of it, and so it hasn't stuck with me as much as like Full Metal Alchemist has. Full Metal Alchemist was the 2nd anime I ever watched, and I never went back and rewatched it, but that's still stuck with me. I really want to move Iron Blooded Orphans up to double S because that's one of my favorite shows of all time. I love everything about it. I love Iron Blooded Orphans too much for it to not be God tier for me. I mean, this is my my list. This is my personal list. Like 12 people are gonna watch this YouTube video, so I doubt any of them care what I think about Iron-Blooded Orphans as much as I care what I think about Iron-Blooded Orphans. So I'm gonna put it at double S. And with that, I think I'm very satisfied with this. I honestly think I'm okay with how this turned out. I like what I've created here, and I'm satisfied with the work I've done today. I feel like I've made some progress with myself. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna pull out what I think is the best show in each category. So obviously this is good, the best show in Z, because that's the only one. This is the best show in F. Darker Than Black, definitely better than Senkeichi Hatsukoi. Next, best show in C. It's gonna have to be Hakata Katsu Ramen's. Best in B. I wanna say it's My Hero because I love My Hero so much, but looking at the other shows in B rank, I don't think. You know what I'm gonna do? I talked some trash about it, but I'm gonna move Death Note. I think Death Note's is the best B rank. Now that I said it, I'm confident Death Note's the best B rank. Now, there's a lot of shows in A. I definitely know it's not Angel Beats. I can eliminate Angel Beats. I can eliminate Kyoto Saga. I can eliminate Noragami in One Punch. I want to say it's Banana Fish, but then I also want to say it's Kisniver. Oh, it might just be because I loved it so much and that it's fresh in my memory, but I think I'm going to pull Orange. Oop, oh, what did I do? I fixed it. I think I'm gonna pull Orange out as the best show in A rank. This one's so hard for me because I love every single show that's in A rank. That's why they're in A rank. I love My Hero. I cannot express with words how much I love My Hero Academia. But I have to ask, is it better than Orange? Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Best show in S rank is gonna be even harder. And my personal opinion tells me to go with My Hero Academia Season 3 because that show, again, like I said, I cannot express in words how much I love My Hero Academia. And there are so many friendship episodes in My Hero Academia Season 3. And there's so many character developments that happened that I was really happy that they happened. But I'm asking myself, is My Hero Academia Season 3 better than Hunter x Hunter and Steins Gate and Erased and Spirited Away and Made in Abyss? All right, I'm gonna narrow it down to 3. This is so, I can't even pick 3. So I think my 3 contenders, Steins Gate, Made in Abyss, and Psychopaths. All right, I've narrowed it down to 3. See, the thing is, I'm so partial to sci-fi and like cyberpunk. Just that partiality towards the sci-fi genre, like the cyberpunk, dark sci-fi genre, automatically puts Psychopaths and Steins Gate above Made in Abyss. Most people in this situation would pick Steins Gate, I'm pretty sure. They're both so equally good that I'm gonna have to pick the show I enjoyed more, which is Psychopaths. Honestly, I wasn't even considering Psychopaths when I started this, but I actually think it's the best S rank. Now that I think about it, I'm solid with that. And now the hardest of all. These 7 shows for me are the gods of the anime I've seen. I have no doubt that every show in double S rank belongs in double S. Except maybe Iron-Blooded Orphans. That's kind of a personal choice. So Iron-Blooded Orphans is definitely not a contender for number 1. I'm putting both Fullmetal Alchemists into 1. So it's between Your Name. It's between these middle 3, actually. Your Name in a Silent Voice brought out way more emotions in me. It made me feel so much more than Fullmetal Alchemist did. But Fullmetal Alchemist is an epic. It's 60 episodes long. It's a journey. And it feels so cliched and unoriginal to put Fullmetal Alchemist at the top. But I think it belongs there. I think it's cliched and unoriginal to put it at the top for a reason, because it is. And with that, this is the official Jonah Entertainment anime tier list. I think I'm satisfied with the final product. After talking through it, there's been some surprises, some twist endings, some changes, but overall, I think I'm satisfied with what I've created here. I don't know what else to say at this point. I don't really know how to end this video. This video has been such a long ramble of me discussing why I love certain things and why I don't love certain things. I don't even know how to end this. So I'm just gonna end it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you let me know by hitting that blue thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos, you can subscribe by hitting that big red subscribe button, or you can check out my last video. And if you disagree with my tier ranking, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. For now, this is your pal Jonah signing off, saying see you next time on Jonah Entertainment. Bye everybody. Mason and Emma, please don't kill me.